G'day guys, just out here on the 2023 CVO Road Glide. This thing is an absolute weapon. It's absolutely spectacular to ride. So this is what $70,000 gets you of your hard money. We've got the new 121 cubic inch Milwaukee 8, which is the largest engine that Harley-Davidson have ever put in the frame from the factory. There is those bigger crate motors that you can get, but this is the largest factory installed engine that you can get on a Harley-Davidson, and honestly the amount of torque it has, I just don't see why you'd need anything bigger. Like, you've got the whole Rockford Fosgate sound system, we've got a humongous TFT screen, about 1 million buttons on the dash. Honestly, I don't even think I'll be able to go through all this by myself, but stick around. I'm going to walk you through a few things on the bike. I'm going to take you for a little bit of a ride on it and then wrap up everything. Other than that, this bike is absolutely spectacular, and at $70,000 you can really feel it. So stick around and see how we go.
I know what you might be thinking, $63,000, that's outrageous. Because I know that's exactly what I thought the second Australian pricing got announced. Lo and behold, at the time of picking up the CVO, they were pretty much all sold out. Not only that, but the Whiskey Neat colour scheme that costs an extra $7,810 is completely sold out. The first peek at the new Road Glide CVO, and it can only be described as intimidating. The bike is humongous in all dimensions. The screen is bigger than an iPad, and the engine is the largest capacity I've ever tested. The CVO Road Glide shares next to none of the same primary components that the Road Glide Special has. The most obvious is the Milwaukee 8 being boosted from 117 cubic inches to 121 cubic inches, liquid cooled, and then slapped with variable valve timing. Check out our tech talk on Bike Review, but there's next to nothing in terms of specification that the 121 shares with the 117. It even has different cylinder heads. In terms of chassis and suspension changes over the Road Glide Special, you get 47mm Showa inverted forks, adjustable Showa shocks, 4-piston Brembo calipers at the front, wire-spoke tubeless wheels, changeable riding modes, and a plethora of riding aids, along with that 12.2-inch touchscreen TFT with Skyline OS, a Stage 2 Rockford Fosgate sound system, and changes to the fairing aerodynamics. Keeping up with the fact that this bike steals all the luxuries from the car world is a serious impressive key fob. Usually, I'm not too fond of keyless starts, but it matches the bike so well. The panniers can be locked and unlocked by the key, and there are little compartments where the key can be stored. Pulling out of the Harley-Davidson HQ driveway, and all of that anxiety I had to ride this monster just simply washes away. The way the CVO handles its weight seems to be second to none, and it's only been 5 minutes on the bike. The main thing that cars my nerves on the road is the rain profile, and the fact that the CVO comes with hill hold assist. The hill hold assist is an absolute lifesaver. Pulling up to a stop, you just have to squeeze the brakes a little harder than usual, and those electronically linked brakes will clamp on until you chuck it in gear and get moving. This is perfect for a bike like this, which really need both feet on the ground when you come to a standstill. When it comes to doing a tight 3-point U-turn in a car park, that nervousness picks up again. The weight becomes noticeable at walking pace, and I suddenly realise a downfall with the manoeuvrability of the Road Glide. There's no reverse gear. It's standard equipment for a bike of this heavy style, and at this price point, it should really be included. I make it home in the rain after switching to sports mode and roasting that rear tyre off every single set of traffic lights in the rain, but the only issue the CVO gave me in wet weather is the fact that the grip warmers felt like they weren't working. I lost feeling in my fingers from wet gloves, and the grip warmers didn't put enough heat through my winter gloves. The dash did say that they were on, so I'm not entirely sure what was going on. I left the two-wheeled Titanic in the garage for a few days as I waited for the weather to clear up to really enjoy what this bike is. And wow, I'm glad I got a clear day, as I have no idea how Harley-Davidson made a near 400 kilogram motorcycle handle like this. It just makes zero sense. Smashing the CVO through my local twisties, and the bike just wants to sail from side to side, and it holds its line so accurately. Sure, there's some caution when riding such a large motorcycle at its max lean angle, but it holds its line better than some bikes half the weight that I've tested recently. Just about every corner the Road Glide takes, it wants to drag those foot pegs on the ground and throw sparks. There's not much bad to say about the suspension. It sits comfortably when cruising at 130 kilometers an hour. It tackles corners with confidence that's simply unheard of on a cruiser this size, and you don't need to muck around with the settings to achieve the perfect middle ground of comfort and sport. While the bike works well for my 83 kilogram weight, I can't make those exact handling and comfort claims for someone who weighs more than me. Adjustable or even electronically active forks should be present at this price point. The rear does have adjustment, but I didn't muck around with it as it worked well for my size. Building on how excellent this bike handles are those 320mm discs with 4-piston Brembo calipers mated to them. The fact that the CVO Road Glide has electronically linked brakes means that you don't have to worry about moving your foot onto the rear brakes when coming into a corner. Squeezing the lever will provide you with face-melting brake power. Everything from the lever action, initial bite, and general pad traction just works. The only thing less than desirable about the CVO Road Glide's braking system is the rear brake lever. It's set up in a bit of an awkward spot and needs more pressure than a conventional rear brake, so lane splitting can be a bit awkward. I'm sure you're all dying to hear how that new 121 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 goes. For the largest factory fitted Harley-Davidson engine ever, it's remarkably easy to manage. Using the rain mode, which puts the engine into its lower power mode, provides a smooth entree into handling nearly 200 Nm of torque at under 4,000 RPM. Switching the CVO into sport mode is where it really comes to life. The grunt this thing has is off chops. It almost hurts my wrists with a sudden rush of power by twisting the throttle ever so slightly. While yeah, it only makes 86 kilowatts, but it can literally roast the 180 by 55 tyre by dumping the clutch in second and chirping it in third. It should be really worth noting that the 121 has an extra 17 kilowatts and 25 Newton meters increase over the 117. The new VVT allows for a little extra power on the top end, but it's nothing outrageously fast. The thing I do notice with the new engine is that it stutters a little with too much throttle input from idle. With such a long stroke, you can't expect it to rev like a 4-cylinder machine, but it does have a similar off-balance feeling to it as the BMW R18 I recently tested. Touring is where this bike really shines. The ability the CVO has to soak up the kilometers with ease is second to none. It's just set cruise control and you don't even have to think about anything type of deal. The only touring downsides is that some of the valuable space in the panniers is taken up by those prominent 5x7 saddlebag speakers. You'd be lucky to fit anything sizable and more than 2 nights worth of clothes in there. Regarding general bike comfort, the Rider Triangle suits my 183cm frame quite well. The reach to the handlebars is just the right length, and although I heavily prefer my foot pegs, my legs aren't overly cramped on the floorboards. The heel toe shifter adds an elevated level of comfort, and the seat honestly feels like I'm riding on a couch. The speakers are outrageously loud. I honestly feel a little embarrassed to have my niche music taste pumping for the whole world to see, so I opt for the radio while I'm riding. It's a little distracting the first few times you use the dash while riding, but after owning the bike for a little while, I don't doubt that you'll be breezing through the menus with ease. Connecting my phone and Cardo Sprint HD intercom to the bike is a breeze. I've struggled with other bikes, but the CVO doesn't need any silly apps to connect with. It works so well that I don't doubt that the older crowd will be able to connect without having to call their grandkids around for help. The 12.2-inch TFT screen features the Skyhook operating system with Apple CarPlay built in. It also has Android CarPlay, but I didn't use it as I don't have an Android phone. You can only access all the features with your intercom hooked up as well, as it's some sort of like regulation thing. From here you can access all the Apple CarPlay apps, Waze, GPS, Spotify, iMessage, phone calls and more. Because I refuse to use my phone while I'm driving, I'm well versed in controlling my phone via Siri. Learning all the commands for your phone will work wonders with this system. I had no problem sending voice to text messages and having the CVO read them back to me. The phone calls were crystal clear and easy to use through Facebook Messenger, the phone app and WhatsApp. This TVT and operating system are the absolute best on the market by far. There is simply nothing that comes close to how easy it is to use and how much functionality it has. Harley Davidson has seriously listened to what the people want and has delivered a flawless system. Yes, $63,000 is a lot for a motorcycle, but nothing on the market can compare to this. The way it handles, the assists, the technology, everything is just perfect. For a bike this size, the fun factor is so high and it's a lot easier to ride than the spec sheets lead it on to be. But is it worth the price? Considering they're literally flying off the showroom floors, there's no way Harley Davidson needs to charge less for this bike. Although I can't help but think that Harley Davidson could have piled on things like active suspension, radar technology and a few other things at the price, but if people are willing to pay this for the money, then why add it?
Alright, that's everything for the 2023 CVO Harley Davidson Road Glide. If you liked the video, make sure you leave a thumbs up and let us know if you would go for this or the CVO Street Glide. You're going to have to be pretty quick with these bikes because Harley Davidson have told us that they're pretty much sold out, all of them. So you're either going to have to wait for the next year's model or you're probably going to have to pay a little bit more from a reseller. But yeah, just let us know what you think of the bike. If you would buy one or if you would just stick with the typical Road Glide, and yeah, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching.